From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Amarachi Ubani.
Good evening and welcome tonight. United States lawmakers seek establishment of trust fund for victims of terror attack. Reaffirm America's commitment on rescue of Chibok schoolgirls. Police in Imo State averts tragedy near a church as security operatives disable an improvised explosive device. Two communities in Cross River State apprehensive about being ceded to Cameroon following a UN boundary adjustment survey. And 80 Palestinians arrested as part of efforts to return 3 Israeli missing teenagers. We begin tonight with what would have been a tragic day in Owerri, the Imo State capital, when the police, through intelligence reports, discovered an improvised explosive device near a church. But the tragedy was averted when the police successfully disabled the device. The IED, which was hidden at the entrance of the Living Faith Church along Port Harcourt Road, had elements of a refrigerator compressor and a timer wristwatch. At the scene was the Imo State Commissioner of Police, Abdul Majid Ali, who said the police got wind of the bomb hidden in a polythene bag at around 2 a.m., following which he immediately directed the bomb squad to move in.
As early as 6 this morning, residents of Owerri, the Imo State capital, woke up with the filtering stories of a supposed bomb attack which was averted by the police at the premises of the Living Faith Church along Port Harcourt Road. Some members of the church who spoke to newsmen said they were on their way to attend the first service, which starts at about 8 a.m., but were halted by security operatives a few meters from the church entrance due to the discovery of an explosive at the entrance of the church.
On my way to the church, we saw police everywhere, in the army. So we tried to find out. They said there is bomb. They dictated bomb in Winners Chapel Owerri, and everybody was scared. And even the church members were moved to another location where they can have Sunday service today.
While on assessment of the scene, the Imo State Commissioner for Police, alongside other security chiefs in the state, said an intelligence report came in few hours after midnight about a suspicious substance seen at the entrance of the church.
Based on information received that a bag was seen by the flower bed, which looked suspicious, and the security agencies were called upon. We immediately detailed our bomb unit to move in, battling to see what is inside that bag. Unfortunately, what was kept there was later disarmed, later discovered that was an IED component which is capable of blowing up.
He appealed to the people of the state to remain calm as all security operatives in the state are available to ensure peace and stability.
To ensure that the area is safe and people should go about their normal businesses.
However, the state government has commended the efforts of the security operatives in averting what would have been a devastating incident in the state.
Let me reinstate my confidence in the security operatives of Imo State for a timely intervention, for which without would have been singing a different song. Let me appeal to all Imolites and all Nigerians living in Imo State that there's no cause for alarm.
Meanwhile, the incident did not deter members of the church from their normal Sunday service, as they had to move to the Hero Square within the Owerri metropolis, where they held their Sunday service.
So, one of the causes I have
The United States lawmakers' delegation representatives has called on the Nigerian government to establish a national victims fund to cater for victims of terrorism. They made this call during a press conference at the Unity Fountain in Abuja. The delegation reaffirmed the commitment of the United States government to ensure that the over 200 girls abducted in Chibok are rescued alive.
It's been more than 60 days that over 200 girls were abducted from the government secondary school, Chibok, in Borno State. Acting on promises of international support, the United States congressional delegation representatives appealed to the federal government to establish a national victims fund that will cater for families and victims of terrorism attacks.
Today we call upon the government of Nigeria to establish a national victims fund for all of the victims who have suffered at the hands of Boko Haram, for the girls who are still missing, for the girls who escaped, for their families, for the father who came and spoke to us about his missing daughter, and he could hardly speak for tears were coming into his eyes, or the victims who have long since perished, their families, they need compensation.
With a mission of intervention, prevention and pressure in the international community, the congressional representatives say they will not give up until the abducted girls are brought back.
And we cannot, I refuse to give up until we find all 270 plus young women who were kidnapped from a school, which is supposed to be a safe place, who were not there partying or having a good time. They were taking their exams. They were learning. This is what we want all children to do. We want them to get a good education, and I refuse to give up until we can find those girls.
Congressional Representative Sheila Jackson Lee expressed optimism that their voices will be heard at the highest level of the Nigerian government.
We took the time to go away to be here. We want our voices to be heard at the highest levels of the Nigerian government for the focus on finding the girls. We stand with the message to bring the girls back.
Although time is set to be running out in bringing back the girls and on U.S. military involvement, the congressional representatives say all options will be explored.
All options. And as we approach those options strategically, whether it's the United States, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's former presidents, whether it's family members or whoever it is, that they will know that all options are on the table and we should not exclude anything when it comes to these girls. That's just how precious their lives are.
As Nigerians and the world wait for the outcome of both the efforts of the Nigerian government and the international community, hopes of rescuing the girls alive remain strong.
Staying within security, warrant officers of the Nigerian Army have been reminded of their critical roles in combating the Boko Haram insurgency. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, who gave the advice at the graduation ceremony of Warrant Officers Course 24 held at the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, Jaji, in Kaduna State, tasked the officers to evolve new strategies to assist the Army in tackling the security challenges in the northeast and other parts of the country. He described warrant officers as an important unit of the Army because they serve as a link between officers and soldiers.
And my country.
These 54 warrant officers were drawn from all the formations of the Nigerian Army to train at the Warrant Officers Academy in Jaji, Kaduna State. And after 6 months, it's time to move to the next level. In his address to the graduates, the Army chief reminded them of the importance of loyalty in the military and says the only way the training can be meaningful is for them to bring it to bear in the discharge of their duties.
You must always bear in mind
The Nigerian Army has no room for any form of indiscipline, no cowardice. In this period of political dispensation, where there is absolute military subordination to civil authority, your loyalty through the hierarchy of the Nigerian Army to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces must never be in doubt.
Brigadier General Martins Abraham is the commandant of the Warrant Officers Academy. He challenges officers in the Army to be abreast of modern techniques in asymmetric warfare and peace support operations. He then lists what needs to be done to make the Academy more effective.
This corps of warrant officers and senior NCOs are needed presently in the Nigerian Army, considering the contemporary security challenges and associated administrative issues within the junior cadre of the Nigerian Army. As of date, sir, this academy has successfully graduated a total of 1,426 students. I am happy to report that most of the alumni of the academy are holding RSM and chief clerk appointments in key NA formations, establishments, and units with great competence.
The Warrant Officers Academy was established to train officers so as to bridge the gap in professional and intellectual competence between officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. The curriculum is designed to prepare them for management and leadership responsibilities at junior levels, enhance their professional competence and career prospects.
Meanwhile, there are reports of fresh attacks in Ughelli town of Taraba State, and several people are said to have been killed. The renewed violence is between Hausas and the Jukuns. Trouble reportedly broke out today when a Hausa youth who operates a GSM call center at Sabongeri had an argument with a Jukun man, and that degenerated into a fight, which then spread into the two communities. But in part two, after the break, the federal government seeks better working conditions for Nigerians abroad. That's in a moment. Please join us again.